All right, guys, today we are going to be reacting to Andrew left feminist speechless after destroying her flawed logic. Let's jump in, folks.
I don't think that just because you're a dude, like we would have to submit to pretty much your decisions.
You have to now.
No, we don't. And
No, you do. So listen,
no,
I
what I
want to
think-
explain a concept to you real quick, and then you can respond.
Yeah.
Do you know what force doctrine is? Do you understand what that means?
Say it one more time. My apologies.
Force doctrine.
No.
Well, the idea here is essentially that all rights which are granted on planet Earth are granted by men. And the way that we know that all rights are granted by men is because we can look not only at the historic standard, but currently right now in modern year, and we can see that every nation on planet Earth, if the men decide that women have no rights, they don't have any. And the men do. And so essentially what happens is women are living based around the benevolence of men who can at any time of their choosing snatch their rights away, and there is zero recourse that women have for this. And so I wanted to explain this to you as we go through kind of what I'm going to consider to be a preamble for your feminist monologue about how, wait a second, we're equal. That's an illusion. There is no equality, and there's never been equality at any time, and this is the standard globally. Men can take the rights away from women, and women can't do anything about it. But the opposite is not true.
Andrew, can you specify that you're making a what
claim.
is?
I'm not saying it should be that way.
He's not.
Try to understand that I'm not saying we should do that. I'm just expressing to you the concept that this is the way things actually are. And I can point to you dozens upon dozens of nations where that is the case right now. Not that it should be that way, but that it is. It is the case that women get their rights from men. Otherwise, I don't understand where else they would get them from, because a right to me is just something which can be enforced, right?
Wow, silence. I'm speaking more than anything that they have said so far. That concept of the right, I didn't understand it until only a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, I would say. Even though I was way deep into the red pill, that's between social dynamics and politics. But when Andrew brought that concept to the manosphere, or to these kind of debates, right? This will be more social debates. That put things to perspective, that the problem of feminism comes from the fact that we men are allowed, because of the benevolent, for females to believe that something that is true, that they have the same power of men. Well, they all know, and we know, that's not true. That's not true. Otherwise, we would never create the 19th Amendment. Exactly.
Well, there was no question, so.
Well, no, I was actually going to let her dive into what she was going to say. I just wanted to give her the preamble, so that she understood my worldview. She understood where I was coming from.
Dangerous.
I do see where you're coming from, and I feel like, or from what I know, like the Women's March, and just like instances where I feel like women have tried to, or like fought for their rights.
With what? With what?
It is a matter of...
Would they fight with bad language? Oh, please, we want our rights. I mean, honestly, what do you think women fought with? What do you think they fought with? Do you think they went and like took their broom handles and went and beat the men over the head with them? They whined in the streets. They didn't fight. There was no fighting. They didn't fight for nothing.
The act...
I mean, that's the truth, right?
The act of the march is to pretty much promote like the rights of women, and I feel like in order for that to push forward, it was through the recognition of men that also have supported those rights as well. and it was a joint effort. It's not just simply.
Oh no, I agree with that. I agree that it's a joint effort.
That's why.
That's actually to my point. But what happens if men decide it's no longer a joint effort and they decide tomorrow, men, you know what? Women don't have any rights. What happens to women's rights then?
Guess we'll.
Like, let's say 1 million women were marching in the streets for their rights, and men went, no.
Ooh, that is a huge fear because females don't like to hear the word no. So that's a real fear.
What could women actually do about that?
Good question. That is a good question.
Good
I
question,
feel like,
yes.
in that sense, we'll never know unless it actually happens, right?
Oh, no. It actually has happened more times than you can count, and it's happening right this second in dozens of countries where men say, okay, all you women, you're second-class citizens, and you can't do, and you know what they do? Nothing. They can't do anything about it.
That's a real fear. I'm telling you, if you put that fear, because it's truthful, it's a reality, folks. It's a reality that we men know. And I think this is where the weakness comes in, right? That we think that somehow females are going to really fight for equality, but they haven't. And they never will. Why would that? Why wouldn't? Why would they fight for equality when they are getting all the benefits from inequality? You don't see them fighting in the courts. You don't see them fighting regarding child support, alimony. You don't see them. You don't see them in life insurance when men rates are way higher than females. And we can go down the line. It's not going to happen, folks. It was an illusion to create equality when it was already not equality, but a sense of balance. You're a man. You have the right to vote. However, you have the responsibilities that come with it. But we took all that out just to please them, in my opinion.
It is hard to seek asylum in like different countries. I feel, and it takes.
Yeah, but what if the globe did it? What if the men of the globe just went, nah, women, second-class citizens. Men decided that. Women could never make such a decision. If women collectively tomorrow said all men are second-class citizens, we would laugh. They could never enforce it in a million. How would they ever enforce that? They couldn't do it. Only men can do that, right?
I love how her body language of the female here on the right is changing a lot throughout this podcast, throughout this episode, by the way. From the first interaction that she had with Andrew, meaning the first video that I saw, she really changed her body language. She's not in a position that I have no leverage. I have no leverage. Look at that. See, there you go. Now you're not trolling, huh? Yeah, you're not trolling. Exactly.
That is a good food for thought, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so this is the thing, right? Is what I'm doing is I'm taking the macro, like the big picture, and I'm looking at it through the idea of force, and then I put it into the micro too. And so I think in the micro, men are expected to protect their women, to protect their household, and lay down their lives before their women are expected to lay down their lives. So on the micro, they're expected to grant women's rights and protect them, and on the macro, they're expected to do the same. But I think that it's always been the expectation that women defer to men because of that sacrifice. That's what I think feminism has destroyed.
Yeah, the fact that, that's an argument that I can guarantee you she never heard. I don't think nobody here in the panel have ever heard that argument. That's the brilliance of Andrew Wilson. He really thought about these ideas. Very insightful.
That's all I was saying.
One sec, I'm trying to arrange a little pizza here.
Getting a little pizza going.
Little pizza.
Over Rachel, we were having a nice little discussion there. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah.
Forest Doc.
I know. I understand what you mean. Like I get it, and I also agree with what you just said. Because I mean, it's not even agree disagree. It is a fact.
It's just the case. It's just the case. Right?
I mean, unless you think about like a super sneaky organization of women getting guns, and even then, like I wouldn't know, because then the army is full of, you know what I mean? If I don't know, we went there.
Yeah, men are always in the key position.
Yeah,
of course,
you know,
right?
like at the,
No matter what.
let's see how, I mean, what kind of organization.
Yeah, good luck with that. It'll be an organization of multiple infinite meetings.
But, so I get it, but still under, no, but it's still under
But
relationship
still,
level.
even though I understand the comment, but I still have an objection. All
But
right,
I
let's
still
see
know,
the
yeah, because I still feel like okay, I would trust my men so that it's like I wouldn't like submit to his final decision necessarily because he's just a man, but because I trust him, and I'd be like, okay, like we're not going my way, like he's not, you know, I would probably I would be like, because I trust him, and then I would be, let's do that, and then we see that it's not the right thing to do, then I don't know, we can have another discussion
Well, I've heard
later,
that,
you know.
I've heard this many times. I think it's a good point to say. I want to be able to many times. I think it's a good point to say. I want to be able to trust the person I'm submitting to, of course, right?
Yeah.
But I want you to think about this, right? The situation.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, every man you're ever going to be with, pound for pound, might as well be a gorilla. At any given time, if they so chose, they could literally rip you to pieces if they wanted to, and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. They could, but they don't. Why doesn't that ever like kind of make women trust men a little bit more?
Well, I think it's because of misandries. That's what it is. They're in a point that they will choose the bear over the man. So at that point, you know, why would the lion think it will be like thinking that they equal to man?
The fact of the matter is that they really could do that, and they just don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the fact that the man is stronger physically doesn't change the fact that if I realize you're very messed up in your head and you are irrational and stupid and you are like your decision or whatever you want.
In the animal kingdom, do women get a choice? Only in this one.
But yeah,
And it's
because
men defer.
humans are
men
different.
Defer to reason. What's that?
Well, humans are different than the animal kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're animals.
Yes,
We
but we
just
have
the ability-
consciousness, and that changes everything.
Well, we just have the ability to use reason, right? And animals don't have that ability.
Yeah.
And so through pure reason, which is a thing which, by the way, is pioneered by males exclusively almost, right? There's almost no great philosophers who are females. And it's not because they were barred from it. It's just because they just weren't interested in it. They had a different interest in what it is that they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Though there were a few good philosophers who were women, especially there's some saints I could point to who are pretty good at it too. But it's through reason alone that men have pioneered this idea of rights, protections for women, things like this. But they never actually had to do it, right?
Ogle donated $200. I appreciate that these ladies seem to be open-minded about what Andrew is saying. It's hard to argue with, but some do anyway. But don't be mistaken, ladies, men very much appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
right?
That's why we could create this society. That's why we create technology to make it easier for them. Dryer washer, sinks, you know, apartment buildings, houses, you know, tampon, you know, menstruation diapers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we try to make medical health care to make it easier for them. It's our job as men to protect them. However, but if you become this individual that is unwilling to throw anything that has been created by men under the toilet, you're compromising yourself to a position that you're not entitled to that. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I would like to hear you guys' opinion.
It's not an attack on women to try to get them to
She's
understand
uncomfortable. Look at that. She's
the
uncomfortable.
bigger picture. Imagine you're inside of a society where everything is essentially built for you. Everything is built for you. Everything is
That's
built and tailored
literally my argument.
around the comfort of the people who are in that society. All the wires and all the wiring and all the electricity and all the everything that you enjoy essentially is built underneath the guise of a patriarchy with the illusion, a female illusion of equality. And that equality doesn't really exist. It's never really existed. And the thing is that that's a great gift, a benevolence that men give to women, and women just kind of sneer at it.
Yeah.
And it's always been bizarre to me because it's so obvious to any man who looks at it. Well, if they wanted to, if we decided tomorrow to be lions, right?
They have no
Women
choice.
are going to do what they, and the reason we can demonstrate that that's true is because we can look at the entire world other than the West and see that that is the case almost everywhere but here.
You know what, Chris? In certain sectors of Europe, a lot of these things are happening when they're bringing a lot of people down. You know, they're not congruent with the current culture, and there are no men. There literally no men to protect them. There are literally no men to protect them from other men. It's crazy. But let me know what you guys think. I will see you in the next one.